Okay, it's the Blue Spec Drilling Boulder Cup today. Peter FERNIE is the man up on the goldfields that we need to talk to and decipher which one of his runners are going to win today. A very good morning to you, Pete.
Marty, Matt, how are you?
Good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, Marty, not bad.
Okay, let's run through them. You'll be a busy man in the first. A quiet start. Please, Mizda, for Lucy Fiore.
Yeah, he's a nice enough horse. He's just got to mature a little bit. I think his mum was a little bit silly, Miss Lecky.
Miss Lecky, yep.
Yeah, I think she was a really good horse. He's got a lovely stride on him, but he's a little bit hot, so we'll put the pacifiers on him and just try and settle him down a little bit. He could most probably run a place if he was at his best. I don't know if we could beat that one at Grants. It was a really good run the other day.
Peter, I don't know if we can go through all your runners today, so if I was to skip through to race 3 and have a look where you've got there, and we can see we've got Evelina and Zing to Win is probably the one I'd like to get your thoughts on. He seems to be over racing a little bit, but he's put 4 in a line, and you haven't wasted a single ratings point on him. How do you expect him to go today?
I actually think it's most probably the best race we've had in Kalgoorlie all season, that one. I think it's a really good really good race.
Yeah, it's a ripper.
It's a terrific race. There's a lot of speed in it, so I don't think he'll be over racing in that race today. He had a bit of trouble getting off the other day, so I thought he should have won easier. He just didn't get out till halfway down the straight. The other one in it's going really well as well.
Secret Style?
Secret Style, but she's most probably... there's always a big jump between Class 2 and the 58, so it'll be interesting to find out where she's at. But she's very fast, but she's drawn a little bit awkward. So, and there's others in it with lots of speed as well, so it's going to be interesting. It's a really good race, but Zing to Win, you can't do nothing but win like he has been.
Okay, Evelina showed a good return to form against Zing to Win last start as well.
Yeah, well, she's the race is most probably, if there was going to be a run to suit anything, it's going to be a run to suit her, because she just gets back off him a little bit and hits the line. So I was really happy with her as well. So,
Pete, in race 4, Don't Wait for Luck. It was a barnstorming finish last start. Are we expecting a little bit of the same today, or are we concerned with the 61 and up to a mile?
I think he's a very good little horse. I think he'd be really hard to beat today. I don't think the mile's an issue with him, the way he raced the other day, because he's always a bit slow out. That's why we stepped him up in ground, because when he was in them shorter ones, he always steps a little bit slow, and then he was chasing the whole race. But getting time to just get his breathing right, it really made a change to him the other day. I couldn't see the 61 slowing him up that much. But the mile, I don't know. We'll put it there to find out, because there's some nice races, Kalgoorlie Cup for him if he could win today.
Yeah, okay. And the other 2 runners in that race, Pirates Alley was good, winning that maiden from back in the field last start, and Absolute Plum was a nice run too behind Don't Wait for Luck.
Yeah, well, he done a little bit of work, Plum. He's gone from the ugly duckling of the stable to actually looking mostly the best out of all the horses, but I think he'll actually be a nice stayer next year. He's just starting to show us a fair bit at the moment, so we didn't hold much faith for him. He was by Eddie's famous sire.
Yep, Verdigris.
Yeah, Verdigris. Not many of them are any good, so he's actually shown us a fair bit. I think he'll be all right next prep, but I don't know if he's as good as Don't Wait for Luck at the moment.
In the fifth, sorry, Pete.
Pirates Alley coming out of a maiden. It's always hard coming out of a maiden.
He was good, though.
Yeah, he was really good. Yeah, really good.
Like, he had that race won a long way out, I thought, watching it live. I thought, well, he just tracked up beautifully. He was going to finish him off, and he did.
Yeah, so that was good. But, like, coming out of maiden into the Class 2, it's always a little bit hard.
Sorry, Pete, in the fifth, you've loaded some of the bases up here. You've got 4 runners going around: Big Player, Ruling Dame, Lucky Lily, and Wanna Cracker. Lucky Lily, I guess, is the starting point with Tash Faithful from Barrier 1. Do you think today is the day for her with your runners in this race, or do you look around elsewhere?
We've changed some gear on her, because she's, if you watch her replays at the 800, she's under pressure at the 800 every time she starts. So we've put some blinkers on her, just trying to get her to travel a little bit better than the visors. So hopefully she travels better. I think if she travelled better, she'd win. But it all depends on the visors, because Tash thought she was going to run last at the 800 the other day, and then she really put herself into the race after that. But so if we can get her travelling a bit better, I think she'll be really hard to beat if the blinkers work today.
And what a cracker as well. Has to be a little bit of a frustrating horse for you because it's had some absolutely phenomenal runs this season as well and just hasn't had all the luck in the world. Is that kind of how you see it today, back from barrier 9 with the top weight, just pull back and try and round them up?
Yeah, it'd be nice for him to just settle a little bit more. He just overdone it a little bit the other day when he got caught wide because he's a bit the same. He's a little bit slow out and then they dig him out and then he over races. So most probably just hopefully he jumps a little bit better. If he jumped a bit better and didn't over race, he'd be really hard, he'd be hard for her to knock off. But he's just one of them horses. He's really well. He's most probably as well as the horse I've got in the stable at the moment.
Okay.
He's jumping around like a lunatic. So
Scotty Embry will be happy.
I hope he can put it in. Yeah.
The Ron Sayers, Pete, in the next, Tom Sayers, sorry.
Oh, no.
Sorry, apologies, Ron. Yep, Tom Sayers in the next. You've got a few going around there, and I think we've got 5. And I thought Laquetta's Gift in the Gold Rush was huge first up, and then just didn't get the flow into the race that it needed second up. Is that a horse you can push me into here?
She's exactly the same as Lucky Lily. They've both had the same similar gear changes. I actually took the noseband off Laquetta's Gift because Troy thought that she's just not travelling well enough early into the race, and then he said she's finishing off brilliant, but if she travelled better, he said he thought she would have won last week if she travelled better. Like her section was as good as anything in the race. So I was taking the noseband and put some blinkers on her. She's never had them on before, so it'll be interesting to see how she does travel, because if she travels, I think she'll be quite hard to beat.
Yeah.
So I think she's a really good chance if she just travels, but you never know till you put them in and try it.
That's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah, no, 2 runs have been terrific, and I love the move with the blinkers going on. Pete, just on those other 3 in the race, Sentimental Hero, we haven't seen it running up on the Goldfield since the run behind Desert Nymph. That formed Frank yesterday. Star Align and Kick a Goal. So what do we do with these 3?
I'm just still getting my head around Sentimental Hero. He's a beautiful big horse. Shows you a little bit. I travelled him last week and he was a little bit disappointing. I thought he'd race better last time, but then I've looked at his form. I think we most probably got to start pushing him up over more ground. We most probably bought him too late, and I think we've got to get him up over 1,800 or something. His work's suggesting that to us. But they're pretty badly weighted in this race. It's a handicap, and they didn't actually give us much benefit in the weights. Like they've left it a 62. They should have handicapped it a little bit higher than a 74 plus, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Star Align, his runs haven't been bad, but he's been carrying like 65, and with an apprentice on, he's not really an apprentice's horse, but Braden's ridden him before, and I think he's won on him or run a place on him. So he's just about ready to go. And if he doesn't do much today, well, he might be going out for a long time.
Yep.
And Kick a Goal, son, bit disappointing last week, but let's hope he can come back. He's an honest horse, and he's been up all season. He might just about had enough. We'll find out today.
The feature of the day is obviously the Boulder Cup in race 7, and you've got Red Cadillac and Utgard Loki. I was hoping Red Cadillac is a bit of a favourite of mine. He has finished no worse. I think he's finished worse than 4th this entire campaign once, and that was when he was held up poorly, and I think it was a bit of a soft track out there that day. Last start, Red, it was slow out of the gates, but didn't really. It was 5 wide for the majority of the race. Tash just simply had no choice for getting back from that wide gate. I think he's a great price today at $21, and from barrier 4, do you try and just get him to settle a pair closer, and with only 9 or 10 in the field today?
She's one of them horses. She's another one that's always slow out. And so if she...
Bit of trouble with that line. One more chance. You there, Peter? Oh, here we go.
And early. Do you think there's as much pace, Marty? I don't think there's as much pace as last week.
No.
So if she positions up, Utgard Loki, he had no luck whatsoever first up, and he would have needed the run. So he's most probably going to be in the first couple today, and if he can keep whacking away, I think he's on the right track to run a really good race in the Kalgoorlie Cup. He's shown us all the signs of it, so cross our fingers.
Well, the shorty of the day comes up with Secret Attraction in the last. Its win was outstanding. You're doing really well, you and Andrew Inglis and the team there with these horses from Peter's investments. Another one here, gee, it was impressive once it got out into clear air.
Yeah, she's my favourite, I think. She's pretty exciting. She's very easy to train. She eats. She just loves her work. And the other day she was just super impressive. I just hope she can keep improving because she's placed over further. So she's run third in the Oaks. So we'll just keep stepping her up and see where she ends up. I don't know if we'll give her a hell of a lot more runs this time in. We'll just see where we end up with her. And I think, Andrew's got a very good buy on his hands in that one.
The other three you're running, No Whispering Ryewood and It's a Lance for our first four players. How do we line them up?
Oh, well, I think they're all going terrific. The other three of them are all actually going really well. It's a Lance was quite unlucky the other day.
Yeah, he was.
He got hand up on the fence, and it's not beyond him to run in the money in this race. And Ryewood's very good. She's most probably been the unluckiest runner of mine all season, and she's had some bad luck and some bad rides. So hopefully today she can get a good ride, and she'll be. She's not the worst horse in the world, Ryewood. I think she'll run a really good race.
And No Whispering.
And the other one's just tough. He's just tough. And we've just tried to, he struggled to get 1200. We stepped him to a mile the other day, and he was really tough. And I think if we can get him to keep doing that, they'll be able to take him back down there. Brandon will be on, maybe, race him in some of them longer races down in Perth. If we can get him to stay a bit, they can earn some more money out of him.
Out of a maroon mare, so somewhere along the line that should kick in, shouldn't it? Hey,
yeah.
Pete, always good to catch up. You've got a terrific team going to the races on Boulder Cup Day, sponsored by Blue Spec Drilling. Enjoy it out there. Your very best. I know the one in the last, $1.40. What about one for the punters with a bit of value?
Oh, If You Blush, I think.
Oh, in race number 2. We didn't have a look at that. Yeah, If You Blush. You Blush.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was pretty unlucky the other day, and I think right sort of run. It was really good to start before, and then had no luck whatsoever the other day. So
yeah, no luck at all.
I think it's a good chance.
Yeah, all right. I just wanted to ask you about one in that too. Schwa Riska, it misbehaved terribly last start. You've made some gear changes on it, but it was still a good run.
Oh, very good, Marty, but he's in the same boat as the other two that I mentioned before.
Yeah.
If the gear changes work, he's going to be super hard to beat. If they don't, he's going to run the same race.
Yep. All right, Pete. Well done. All the best. Enjoy it up there today.
Thanks, boys. Thanks, Pete.
Peter Fernie is a ripper. Luke, he's got a nice horse on his hand, judging by yesterday as well. We'll cover off on that very soon.